Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BNR. It's me, Gene. I'm on my own today, guys, because Asim went to the game. I was supposed to go, didn't go because of a wedding, and I got back at 2:30 last night, and it was way too much for me to take the kids in the morning. But here I am. First and foremost, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 20K, so smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. But here we are, guys. Liverpool lose the Charity Shield on penalties today in terms of the result against Crystal Palace. The game ended 2-2. I'm sure you all are aware of the result and how the game play out. I'm here to try to dissect the game in a bit more detail. Ask some questions regarding yourselves. Ask you guys questions. What's going on, guys? I am on my own. Everybody today is busy because Asim's at the game. Ben was at the game. Avi's busy. I think he's busy for the next couple of weeks. No, I know he's not run away because he got the bomber wrong. He's just busy. He's traveling over the next week and a half as well. So big up to everyone. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. So yeah, guys, let's try and dissect today's performance. Let's try and speak about what went right, what you saw went right, what was wrong in regards to the performance. So we will start. And look, it's always best to start with the starting lineup. I'm gonna go straight in. Regarding the indie bomber, I've not seen it. I've literally just walked in through the door, guys, and here I am. So I'm not gonna. I'll bring up the indie bomber when it comes up. But I want to start off with the performance today, guys, because I think you know what, it's right that we only speak about the performance. And we will obviously start off with the starting lineup. The starting lineup, if I'm honest with you, that was the team that I was expecting to play. I think I got one wrong, and that was Alisson started over Mamadashvili, but there's no issue with that. We would if it was Ali or Mamadashvili, it doesn't really make a difference in terms of the 10 outfield players. I think 99% of you would say they were probably going to be the starting 11 for this game. So all in all, in terms of the team, I was happy with the players that were put out there. And look, this game. It always felt like it was going to be a good test for Liverpool because look, we were going to always start 4 or 5 new starters. Palace, a team that hasn't bought in any players but kept every single one of their players. So it was going to be a good test for this Liverpool team. Yeah, I missed the cap too, Shide. I just literally walked in. I couldn't miss the show because I promised Asim I'd do it. So here I am. But in terms of the team, look, it was always going to be a massive test for Liverpool. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, an unchanged team, and it was always going to be a decent test, and it surely showed, because I thought in regards to the first half, Liverpool played really well, but the second half, Liverpool, if I'm honest with you, weren't great. But when I look at the first half performance, and especially the new boys, when I look at Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike, I thought both of them, I thought they were sensational. I thought Florian Wirtz at times took the absolute piss. Ekitike, we saw link-up play that was unbelievable. He scored an unbelievable goal with a brilliant 1-2 with Florian Wirtz. And in regards to that, I was over the moon because them two players were the two players that I really wanted to see, and I wanted to see them shine. I wanted to see how well they played in a more of a competitive game, especially if you compare them with the preseason friendlies. So all in all, I was quite happy to see their performances. But let's not make no mistake, when you look around the pitch, there was a lot of performances today that didn't meet up to Liverpool's standard. And it's crazy because it's probably players that when we take a step back, they're probably our best players, our leaders, probably the most influential players on that football field for Liverpool. And they're Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. I thought both had one of their worst games, if I'm honest with you. I think you heard it on commentary. Mohamed Salah hardly got to touch the ball, especially in the first half. And Van Dijk, wasn't at the races. He was obviously made the mistake for the penalty, which led to their first goal. And then you've got, I thought even in terms of the line, the leadership of the line, it wasn't that great. We weren't completely at the races in terms of our midfield. I felt like we got stretched, we got outrun. There were good passages of play, especially in the first half, and we saw that. But all in all, it looked slightly disjointed from this Liverpool team. And look, if that's the case, then fair play. I have no issues. It was always going to take us some time. And I would rather have the learning lessons take place in pre-season rather than Friday. If there was ever a game where I wanted it to have, for Liverpool to have some sort of issues or anything like that, it's before the actual season starts. Because make no mistake, come Friday, some of these the errors that we made today, you have to be able to eradicate them, especially when you're playing in the Premier League. Because if you don't, you will get punished, and we got punished today from Palace, who I thought second half, I thought they were the better side. They played, some lovely football at times, and their midfield ran the show. Adam Wharton, I thought was fantastic. Even when Hughes came on, I thought Hughes had a fantastic game. But today, I'm not. Look, from a Liverpool perspective, we want to win every single game. We want to, even if it's a charity shield, I want to win it. Nobody wants to lose any game. And when I look at the performance today, I thought Kirkes, if I look at it, Kirkes, I thought was slightly quiet first half, but I thought second half, Kirkes had a really good game. I thought Frimpong had a decent game at right back. And then you start looking across and you're thinking, okay, Van Dijk wasn't amazing, was poor, if I'm honest with you. And then you've got Kanate was normal. The midfield, I thought, literally got outrun. Curtis Jones, mate, you can have visit 43 passes and 43 100% rate in terms of percentage, in terms of passes made, but that's not enough, because I want to see more off the ball. We know Curtis Jones is good on the ball, but we needed to see more off the ball. And he wasn't amazing. Dominic Szoboszlai, I thought, made way too many errors today. It wasn't his best of games. And if I'm honest with you, I saw a lot of Dominic Szoboszlai slander. And I'm going to touch up on Dominic Szoboszlai, because if I'm honest with you, I think he's probably been our best player this preseason. And yes, he had a bad game. Yes, he wasn't the same. And he was not at the races today. It was a bad game from Dominic Szoboszlai, but he wasn't the only one. And then you look at the forward line, and you look at Cody Gakpo, poor. Mohamed Salah, poor. Verts, brilliant. Ekatike, he looks like a player, and I was really, really impressed, especially with the interlink play that Ekatike showed today. He showed that there's a lot more to see from this footballer. And he came into the preseason pretty late compared to the rest of them, and they were and to hit the ball running straight away. I think he had a decent game in the last preseason game, and this one I thought he showed some real class in terms of his touches, his link-up play, and an unbelievable finish for his goal. And that shows that we've actually signed an unbelievable forward. And look, Hugo Ekitike, everybody knows, was my number one target after Alexander Isak. I'm not a massive fan of Gyökeres or Benjamin Tesco. So in terms of Ekitike, I was happy that we got him. He was always my number 2 choice behind Alexander Isak. And I saw some unbelievable football from him at times. The way he sees the 3 players that are around him, his little 1-2 touches, you could tell that Liverpool have signed a really, really good forward. But I think in terms of Liverpool today, I think the main man was all about Florian Wirtz. He showed what an unbelievable talent he is, an unbelievable footballer, somebody who knows the game inside out. He took the piss in regards to his deft touches every single time he touches. Every single time he touched the ball today, you could see that this kid has got something special about him. And I honestly can't wait to see this lad really kick on during the season and so on. But in terms of the performance today, guys, I think, look, a lot of people will point the finger at Dominic Szoboszlai. A lot of people will point the finger at Salah, and rightly so, because they're players who have been starting for us for a number of years now, and they had to turn up. Van Dijk was poor. It was for a player who's really calm and composed in that defense, and who never really jumps in. It was actually quite surprising to see Van Dijk make a tackle like that and get caught. And Gakpo as well, I just thought he just wasn't at the races. And if I'm honest with you, when I looked, even though Salah wasn't at his best, we know Salah generally turns up. You look at Verse and you saw how well Ekatike played. It felt like on our left hand side there's something missing. And look, Cody Gakpo will come good. Cody Gakpo will score his goals. But I felt there was a golfing class at times. It wasn't his best game. But look, I'm not too worried um, when I look at this Liverpool time. We need to take a step back and say, look, it's still a pre-season game. It's a charity shield. There's not much, of course you want to win it, but there's not too much riding on it. What matters is Friday, and this will have been a lesson. I think it's a lesson that we need to learn because over the last few games now, defensively, we've looked, slightly shaky. Granted that the two midfielders today were probably not the two midfielders who start for Liverpool in terms of Gravenberg and McAllister. So you have to understand the dynamics of this team. That there were certain areas which we weren't at 100%. And I know. Look, we made mistakes. We made mistakes, and I think at times it was too easy for them to control the midfield. And they know how. One thing that I have to give Palace a lot of credit for is they know how to sustain their attacks. They know exactly what to do. When Wharton gets the ball, he pings the ball over the top, and he's got willing runners in Mateta and Eze. They will make them runs all day long. You saw the amount of times that they played that switch to Monos. They know when to play that switch. It was because you can tell these guys have been playing together. That these guys were know exactly how to play with each other because the team hasn't changed. It's the same team that's been it was the same team from last season, and last season was arguably probably his best season in the Premier League era. So I have to give a lot of credit to them. They played really well, especially in the second half, and to come back against Liverpool twice, being down twice, and then still managing to get a result, showed that this is a good football team, and Glasner's got his team well drilled and playing some good football at times. But look, Dominic Szoboszlai, I'm going to speak about him a little bit today because I've seen a lot of people go for Dominic Szoboszlai online. Dominic Szoboszlai is an integral part to the way we play football. And you can like it, lump it, I don't care. He is integral to the way we play the game. He's integral to the way Arne Slot wants to play the game because of the amount what he gives us off the ball and on the ball as well. The amount of running he does, if you take a Dominic Szoboszlai out of this team, we will struggle on transitions. We will struggle in terms of his defensive work because he is arguably one of the fittest players on this football on the Liverpool team. What you see more of it when you're at the game. It wasn't his best games, but what he possesses, there isn't many footballers in the world possess. They give you work rate that you can't imagine, and they have quality as well. Yes, today wasn't his best. He's had times even last season where he wasn't his best. But towards the back end of last season, we saw what a class footballer Dominic Szoboszlai is. And say what you want, he is integral to this football team, and he will come good. Come Friday, he will show everybody what he is about. Because make no mistake, he's been arguably our best player in pre-season. People will mention Rio, and Rio was he's been has been unbelievable over the course of pre-season. But Dominic Szoboszlai was definitely up there as one of the best players for this in this pre-season, and he will come good. Yes, you can have bad games. It happens. It's normal. These things happen in football. But we need him to turn up and have his bad games when it isn't the actual season. Right now, it's okay to have. But come the start of the season, he will be on it and he will start because he will start against what do you call it, against Bournemouth on the weekend because Gravenberg is definitely out, so he will definitely start that game. Look, people are mentioning, it was a game of two halves. I thought we controlled the game well. We gave away a few chances in the first half, but I thought second half we were poor. We looked like a side that we made Palace look amazing at times because I ain't gonna lie, and everybody knows that's been watching us over the last 2 years, year and a half. I am a huge fan of Adam Wharton, and I've been crying out that Liverpool go and sign Adam Wharton because I think he's just an unbelievable footballer, and the way he just dictates and controls the tempo of that football field is a joy to watch. And we saw that today. What a brilliant footballer he was. He controlled that midfield. He's a brilliant volume passer, and the way he caresses the ball, his one-touch passing is fantastic. there are shouts that he should have got a red for that challenge on Frimpong. I can get that shout. I understand that shout. Probably if that was a Premier League game, there was a chance it could have gone to VAR and he might have seen red. But if I just look at his performance, it was a brilliant, brilliant performance. And there's shouts for a Belabor and an Adam Wharton, and I've seen them shouts a lot over the last week since United were linked to him. I love Belabor, but Adam Wharton is gonna be a generational talent, and you can see it's just the way he plays the game. He has the ability, if you ask me, to run football matches, and that's the hardest thing that you can see that you can do is run a football match. Adam Wharton has that skill. Adam Wharton has the passing range. Adam Wharton, he's press resistant. He can come towards the centre backs and receive the ball. He plays without fear, and he's got the intelligence to be able to play that ball over the top. His passing at times, his short range passing, his long range passing is unbelievable. And look, I have to give the lad credit. I thought today was an unbelievable performance by him, especially in that second half. And is it a cause of concern? Do we have problems? Do Liverpool have problems? It's difficult for us to move away from the fact that Liverpool have problems in that defence. I can't sit here and say to you guys now that, it's all hunky-dory. We're going into the first game of the season all confident. Yes, I'm confident. I'll always be confident. I will always support my football team and believe that we'll be good enough to beat Bournemouth. But on the back of my head, the way we played over pre-season, it hasn't been fantastic defensively. Going forward, I have no issues. I thought, we are going to play some unbelievable football and we're going to score some unbelievable goals. Salah is not going to have a game like that. I can tell you that right now. Gakpo was abysmal today. Our midfield was probably not the best, and our centre backs weren't that great. And yet, still, we played against a Palace side who played really well, who got a draw, and they beat us on pens. We should have put this game to bed, and we should have won the game, if you ask me. But look, these things happen. Happen in football. We just have to forget about it, move on, go to a Friday and put up a performance that's going to kickstart our season, kickstart our Premier League campaign. And Cody Gakpo, look, if I'm honest, and I'm going to give you my honest take on it, I'm not one of them to ever shy away from saying what I believe. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, I'm not going to shy away. Cody Gakpo, out of all our attackers, is probably the least effective. My issue with the wingers is I've always wanted wingers who are good enough to go on the inside and go on the outside. And Cody Gakpo doesn't possess that. Cody Gakpo doesn't possess pace. But Cody Gakpo is a fantastic squad player, a player that comes on and gets you goals. If you want him to cover, he's fantastic. He'll come on and he will get you goals. He had a fantastic last season, and we have to give him credit because he scored some big goals for Liverpool. But when I look at Cody Gakpo and I think that he can get even better, maybe 2 notches, I don't see that. I don't see Cody Gakpo. I think what we're seeing of Cody Gakpo is probably the maximum. Might improve a little bit, but I think last season was Cody Gakpo's sort of level where, getting 13 goals is a good return from a player like Cody Gakpo, and it makes sense. But for somebody, would I want Cody? If I'm challenging on all fronts, is Cody Gakpo the player I want to be my left winger? Sorry, if I'm honest with you guys, probably not. I want better quality on that side. I want players that are able to give us more. I really wanted to see Rio come on for 15 minutes towards the end, because we weren't completely at the races. We weren't great. I would have liked to have seen him, and we missed out on him. Just that directness, just that fear factor that he would have possessed. We would have given out, especially to all of the to the Palace back line. We would have seen some sort of threat, and we didn't really see that threat from Cody Gakpo. He had a chance in the first half, which he should have scored. I thought at times there was that ball, I think when we were like 4 or 5 on 2 or something, and it was a shite pass. He could have taken it forward and made the easier pass, but he tried to go the other side, and on transition, and we should have done a lot better, if you ask me. But he will come good. We have to trust Arne Slot. We have to trust the board, because what they've done so far it makes no sense for us to be absolutely going ballistic at this team in a pre-season game, guys. It's the end of the day, it's still pre-season. We will come good. What matters is next week on Friday. What matters is Friday. What matters is Friday. And somebody mentioned, we only have three attackers. That's worrying. It's worrying because we have three in terms of Gakpo, Ekitike, and Salah. And obviously, Works can play that, but I don't like seeing him in that position. Obviously, you can't really exactly rely on a 16-year-old turning 17 to be one of your main players. So Gakpo will definitely be starting, but Liverpool will and have to go into the transfer market, and I'm pretty confident that we will go into the transfer market and sort out what needs to be sorted out. We've seen the issue in terms of we need to bring in a centre back. That is a must. That is probably priority. If you ask me, probably no. Look, we need Isak, but that priority is just as needed as it is another forward, because we can't go into the season with three centre backs. I'm not too worried about the midfield, guys. I know people are gonna say to me, "Oh, we need a Belabor, we need this." Yes, we do. Would I have liked one? Yes, but we can't do everything. We can't go and spend, another 100 million on Adam Wharton. We need to bring in a centre back. We need to get Isak over the line, and we have enough midfielders that can cover in that position. Because I've still seen enough to say that, you know what, Dominic Szoboszlai can be a fantastic player in that eight. I saw enough in pre-season. He might have had a bad game, but he's still good enough to play in that eight in his favoured position, and he will come good, and he will be a vital cog at Liverpool Football Club this season. Make no mistake, because what he possesses, not many Liverpool players possess. I don't think anyone possesses what he possesses, and there's no need to panic. It's just a pre-season game. Yes, it's a one that you want to win. There's you get something in the end of it, and it would have been good for the new players to come in and tasted some sort of success. But it's not the end of the world. We're here to go and try and win our number 21. We're here to try and win number 7, and that's what matters, and that's what we will try to attain come at the end of the season. We just Slot needs to get it right. And guys, we have Arne Slot who delivered this title. If you can't trust him, I'm not sure what you can trust. We're still confident. We go into the season still as favourites, and we will go and try and win every single game. Still a trophy. Faki goes, I wanted to win the League Cup too. Of course, I want to win every single trophy, but you have to understand, I'll happily sacrifice not winning one or two, as long as you go and win the main prizes. We want to win everything, but we have to understand that that this doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter as much. So we need to take a step back, relax a little bit. We will go again and trust the players and trust Arne Slot, because I'm relaxed. I'm still very, very relaxed. I'm not too worried. I think we will get the business done. Business that needs to be done will get done before the transfer window closes. And if you can't trust the board this summer and can't trust the manager, then I don't know what's wrong with you. And relax when it concerns, going crazy at our players and giving them a load of shite. It's a pre-season game, and we have to try to look at the positives. And the main positives that I can take from this game were Florian Wirtz, I thought was good. Frimpong, who I thought was decent. Kirkes, I thought had a really good second half. And Ekitike, who was, I thought, fantastic in that first half. Them 4 players are all newcomers into this side. So when you've got 4 new players who have come in and, shown, that they were probably the 4 of our best players on that pitch today, then I don't know what the issue is, because they're settling well. The others, I have no problems with. They've been at this football club. We know their levels. Their levels will continue. They will, imagine doubting Mohamed Salah. You'd be absolutely stupid. It was absolutely shite today. Salah was probably one of the worst performances I've seen. He couldn't get involved. He didn't get enough touches. Maybe he should have won us the game, if I'm honest with you, because he should not any of the corner, and that was a goal. So let's just relax. Mohamed Salah is gonna bang. He's gonna bang for Liverpool Football Club this season, like he has done for every single season, and we will be challenging for this title. So, I saw some tweets earlier about Arne Slot. You think Arne Slot's not going to be hurting after this performance? Guys, he's gonna be hurting, man, because Arne Slot doesn't like losing. He doesn't like losing friendlies, let alone bloody competitive games. So I've got no issues with this football team. And people are saying, Salah's been horrible since February. Ian goes, you need a head checking, mate, if you think he's been horrible since February. Salah won us the title. He can do what he wants that season. We judge Salah from Friday onwards. The end of the season don't matter to me. I don't care. We won the title. He delivered. We won the title. We move on to Friday. That's what matters, and that's when real shit kicks off. And that's when you'll see the real men, the real captains, the real leaders come and take this team to another level. So I'm calm. I'm collected. I'm relaxed. Nothing to worry about. We will come good. Of course, there are signs that we made mistakes. Slot will sort their mistakes out by either bringing in the correct personnel or sorting this team out tactically to make sure that we shore ourselves up and don't give easy transitions and don't struggle against teams who come out, because we have been caught a few times now. We have been caught even towards the back end of last season. We got caught a few times, but I'm not going to have a go at these players, because these players are too good to give these guys crap. There's 400 of you in here, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and we will come good. Defense, we're gonna smash. Look, I'm telling you, relax. Come Friday, you're going to see a completely different Liverpool. You're going to see a coherent Liverpool. You're going to see a Liverpool who are going to show the world why we are Liverpool Football Club, because we're going to go and defend our title. And not just defend it. Like Klopp once said, we're going to attack this title and attack it with venom. And hopefully we will try to bring 21 back home. So we need to just chill, relax. Question regarding the pens. Regarding pens and Mohamed Salah. Look, Mohamed Salah's been our penalty taker, and he scored some of the biggest penalties under the biggest pressure, under immense pressure over the years. Can I see Mohamed Salah give somebody else the penalties? No chance. I can't see it happening. And if anything, if there was one player that I thought he might give it to, that was Alexis McAllister, and even he missed today. So I get it. It's not the best. Maybe give him a chance. I think in the start of the season, it'll probably be Salah. I think Salah misses one more in the season. I think maybe it's time to move on. But I can't see Salah giving that the penalty duties and handing it over to somebody else. Salah will come good, man. Don't ever doubt the king, man. If you haven't learned anything over the last 8-9 years, is you never doubt this guy, because he turns up, he always turns up, and he will give it a 100%. And come May, he might even be the top goal scorer with the most assists. So never doubt the king. Majid giving it. Here we go. Oh, he is the Aston Villa fan. Giving it the Bingham team. Did you skip the humble pie dished out today? Nah, man. What's wrong? I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed with Liverpool. We've got nothing to worry about. We'll go into the season and we'll start smashing it up, man. We always do, and we will do the same again. I saw a load of players, there were compilations about Ekatike when he played his half game. People are beginning to realise that Ekatike is going to be one hell of a footballer at Liverpool, and him and Isak, there's going to be Rolle, like we call it, Rolle, and that's exactly what we're going to see. And Florian Wirtz, man, bow. I'm not lying to you. I tweeted this saying that every touch is a highlight reel. It literally was. Every single touch of Florian Wirtz is magical to see. The way, his first time intricate play passing is on a different level. Like, the way he moves the ball at times, he's just saying, come on, get it off me. He'll drop deep. He'll come forward. He knows exactly where he needs to be. And you can't get close. And you really struggle to pick him up, because he drifts in and out, back line, forward line, defensive line. He's comfortable in every phase of play, and I've just, it's going to be a joy to watch, and we're going to have a lot of laughs watching this footballer take that field at Anfield, man, because he's going to literally take the piss. And we should we should enjoy him because it's been a while since Liverpool had a 10. And I'll be honest with you, I love number 10s because they're the ones who get you off your seats. They're the ones who give you moments of brilliance, moments of magic. And Florian Wirtz, make no mistake, is arguably one of the best number 10s in the world. And we saw that. We've already seen enough in pre-season to say this guy is going to be special. He's a special, special footballer, and he's going to show the world how special he is, especially when he's got that Anfield crowd behind him. We're going to see Wirtz, who's just going to be on a different level. But look, I'll ask in terms of the guys in the chat. I think I know who impressed you guys today. It was probably Wirtz and Ekatike. But bar Wirtz and Ekatike, who else really impressed you today? I thought Frimpong had a good game. And I'll tell you another thing with Frimpong. I saw all them compilations with Frimpong that he isn't good defensively. He hasn't got the defensive nous. I thought Frimpong did pretty well defensively. In the last 2 games that I've seen him play, he looked good defensively. And his pace is lightning quick, which means he can get back in time. And I'm even more confident in regards to Frimpong now. I think that right hand side now, I think is his. Regardless of Bradley coming back, I think Frimpong showed us enough to say that right hand side is going to be his. I thought going forward at times, he got down the byline as much as he could, especially in the first half. Defensively is good. He showed that we've got a really, really good right back. As long as he can keep improving, especially even more so defensively, we will bring a brilliant footballer through. And he's still really, really young, so still a lot to learn and a lot to improve, especially in the coming years. So he was one that I was really raving about his performance, and I think Kirkes needs a bit more time to settle. Mark goes, yeah, Kirkes does probably need a little more time, but still, I thought Kirkes' second half was really, really good. From what I've seen, and I've seen in the last game, was Kirkes sits, and I see Arne Slot saying to Frimpong, higher. And I saw that in the last game where he was telling Frimpong, higher, get up higher. So maybe Kirkes will be playing slightly deeper and then push on when he needs to, especially if he means running from on the inside. And look, I'm very, very happy with the fullbacks. Now, guys, in terms of worries, who worried you the most today? I know it's easy. I probably can see it's probably going to be a Van Dijk or a Szoboszlai, but in terms of them two, I'm not too worried about. They're leaders on that pitch. Both of them are actual leaders on that pitch. But I get why the shouts will come regarding Virgil van Dijk. He did make mistakes for the goal. Curtis Jones side goes. Curtis Jones was difficult one because he's a neat footballer. He's fantastic on the ball, but I think when a player is playing in that position, you have to be able to take the game by the scruff of its neck. And I don't think Curtis Jones has the attribute to take the game by the scruff of his neck. Yes, he had performances last season where I thought he was sensational in the big games. He was sensational. And that's, I think, where we need to see him literally get a grip of the game, and which we haven't really seen him do. And it'll be interesting to see how he plays out, especially over the next few games. Quite a few shouts out for Cody Gakpo. I think I've spoken about Cody Gakpo. Look, we know where we stand with Gakpo. I think most of us are probably on the same sort of boat regarding Gakpo. Salah was a worry. Even Salah would, wow. Salah, man. Salah's worrying people. Salah. Guys, you have nothing to worry about. Mohamed Salah on Friday will put every single one of you to bed and say, relax, chill. It was a bad day. We've seen Salah have plenty of stinkers over the years where he's been shy at times, where you think, what the hell is Salah doing? He'll come back next week and he'll score 2 goals for you and say, all right, I'm back. And that's who Salah is. His penalty was a joke today. And I was quite shocked to see him go that high. But you know what? I'd rather it be today than in the Premier League. So look, it's it doesn't worry me. I get the shout. People are saying, "Oh, he's 33 now." Is this that drop off season? Other fans from rival clubs have been saying this for the last 2-3 years. Oh, he's gonna drop. Oh, he's gonna drop. Oh, he's gonna drop. Salah is not gonna drop. Salah will be back. Salah will be back on Friday, and he will let all of you know what Salah is about. Look, Virgil, shouts for Virgil van Dijk and McAllister. McAllister, look, he did look a bit slow. He wasn't completely. Look, he's had a long layoff. He might need a bit more time, and I think he'll get that time. I don't think he do I start McAllister on Friday? Question to you guys: do you start McAllister on Friday with Gravenberg off? Would you start McAllister on Friday? Actually, give me your midfield two for Friday, especially with what's happened. I want your midfield two, not who Arne Slot will choose. Who would you start in the two midfielders? Gene, do you think we will sign? Who do you think we will assign? Same lineup. Al-Faki goes Sobo, Maka, Sobo, Maka, Sobo, Maka. Do you want bomb? Same lineup for Faki goes Maka and Sobo, Dom and Maka. Maka not much fit play Nyone. Nah, man, Nyone's not. I would have Jones over Nyone all day long, man. McAllister. A lot of shouts for Dominic Soboslai and Alexis McAllister for for Friday. I can't see that happening. I think McAllister starts on the bench. I want them two to start, and I think they were all fully fit, them two definitely start that game. I can't see them three starting. I think it's going to be Jones and this is going to be the same midfield. There were times where there was, to be fair to Jones and McAllister. I thought first half there was some decent link up play. I thought they did decent. They weren't as bad, but then second half we saw how bad they were, man. Second half we just got outplayed at times, and it just wasn't enough. We lacked that leadership of McAllister in there. We lacked that fight, that grit. But it was pre-season, so I can understand it. As long as these players turn up, I have. Yeah, look, Malcolm Billington says have faith in Choyan Ionic, and he plays like ground. But look, I have faith in Ioni, and I think he's going to be a fantastic footballer. But to start him first game of the season at Anfield, I think it's a bit of a risk, especially when you've got other players that can play there. Like a Jones, he wasn't his best games. He was, to be fair, he might have played the 100% success rate in terms of passes, but you need a bit more, and I think he will be all right. I think we will Jones against. It's a home game as well. I'm glad it's a home game to start us off, and it's not an away game. But are we short in this area in the midfield? Because there's a load of shouts for Baleba if he becomes available. There's a shouts for Wharton, and I love Wharton. But if you had a choice between Baleba and Wharton, this will be interesting. If you had a choice between Wharton and Baleba, who would you sign? Because I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to be saying Wharton. Because even more so when we saw this, even more so after this game, because I'm a Wharton fan and I'd want Wharton over anyone. I'll be honest with you, and I love Baleba. I think Baleba is a fantastic footballer. I think he's class. But I think Wharton, for us, would control it, man. He'd be the volume passes at times that we need. At times I've always been one that has always been crying out for physicality. And that's why I wanted Baleba. But I think when the more I see this team, I think we need Wharton. I think we miss Wharton at times. And a lot of shouts for Wharton today. When we did this poll, I think it was 59% that said Baleba and 41 that said Adam Wharton a week and a half ago. We did this, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring you up today. A lot more shouts for Adam Wharton today, though. Baleba is let's sign thingy Baleba so he doesn't go to United. I can't see that happening. We're not going to spend 100 million on a player just to make sure. But look, either would be unbelievable buys for this football club. I'd be happy to take one or Baleba. One possesses the physicality, one possesses the passing range that we require. So we probably require both traits, if I'm honest. But I just love the way Adam Wharton plays the game. I just love the way he just controls it at times. And yes, he might not be the most paciest, but the way he controls that midfield at times is a joy to watch. And his passing range is unbelievable. And I think he will probably have an agreement in place for next season. If Adam Wharton doesn't leave the Crystal Palace this summer, I think Liverpool will make a play for him next summer. And I've been calling for us to go for him 2 years ago. But I think next summer might be the right time for Liverpool to go to go and strengthen the midfield. I think this summer will probably be the attack, and next summer we will look at the midfield and probably the defense as well. But yeah, we got money then signed Adam and now we can't sign both. But in all, guys, if I look at this performance from the outset, it wasn't the best. It wasn't our best performance. If it was a game of 90 minutes, we would have drawn 2-2, but obviously we lost in the cup. Palace wanted it probably more because it's not every day they get a chance to go to Wembley. They can call it their second trophy that they've won, so they probably wanted it slightly more than us. So fair play to them. But fucking hell, sorry about this, and I forgot to bring this off. They're fucking fans today, man. I really respected Palace fans of the past. I thought they were a good bunch. But today they let themselves down, and I know it's a minority of them, but they did let Crystal Palace Football Club down with their bullshit of booing or not respecting the tribute to Jota, and it was quite sad because I genuinely like their fans. When you see them, the way they sing their hearts out, I love that ultra type of fan base, and I see that with Crystal Palace, but they had some shocking. It was shocking behavior from them today, and I was really. It was sad to see, but you know what? It is what it is. We have to move on. We look forward to Friday now from a Liverpool perspective. We will go again, and we will go and smash it out on Friday. So nothing to worry about. We will go again. I've tried to go for. I've done 40 minutes today, guys. Nobody here today, but we will be back tomorrow for the transfer daily. The shows are back. Asim is back tomorrow, and we will start banging it out in terms of shows. But guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Big week. It's a massive week for the Liverpool fan. Sorry guys, I think I missed a super chat. Yep, here we go. One thing for sure, we upgraded our right back. Frimpong is going to be a fan favorite. Honestly, I can't. His energy is brilliant. His personality, we've seen the way he is, and his game going forward, we have no issues with. And so far, defensively, he's shown enough that he's an able defender. We just need to make sure that I know you've done it in pre-season. You need you to make sure that that he takes his form into the season, and hopefully, uh, he will make that right back position his. But guys, two things: smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and if you are feeling generous, do become a member of our BNR Ultras. Loads of exclusive content coming your way. And okay, you know what? I might as well just Somebody said Damien Ward. I'll speak about Indy goes. Where's it gone now? Gene Indy said we go for Isak in the next 42 hours, mate. Yeah. Hopefully Indy's a character, man. Let's just say that Indy's a character, and hopefully you will. If Newcastle do bring in a player in the next day or two, then it'll be expected that Liverpool will make a move in the transfer market, especially for Alexander Isak. But Joe, sorry, before we go, what did people make of Mark Gay's performance? Just a quick, brilliant, what you guys thought of Mark Gay. I thought Mark Gay was really good, and I want him signed up ASAP. I thought he had a really good game, and I know he pulled up with cramp towards the end, but he's a solid defender. Like Ash says, looks solid, pure class. Gay was class. Gay's top, very good. I like Mark Gay, man, and he really impressed me. Best centre back on the pitch. He goes. Fast too. He's got the pace. Slot shook his hand. Yeah, that was an interesting one. And I saw the little tweet that came out regarding the way Van Dijk looked at him. So I really want us to sign Mark Gay. it would have been better if we had already had him wrapped up and already at Anfield. Sorry, already in Liverpool, but it seems that this is going to probably brew on. Chelsea might come into the picture, but I think Liverpool have done the groundwork, like we have done with most players this season. I think the groundwork is done. He wants us, we want him. He will come to Liverpool Football Club, and I'm hoping you can get that deal done as soon ASAP, because I don't want to go into the season with just two recognised fit centre backs right now. But I was impressed with him. He looked good. He looked assured. He looked like a proper centre back, and one that we'll hopefully see in a Liverpool shirt. Guys, there's still 360 of you in here. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And like I mentioned, we will be back tomorrow. So I will catch you tomorrow morning. It was a quick show, guys. Have a good one. Don't worry too much, because Liverpool are still going to win the Premier League.